Here on a Wednesday. It is tour day. We are having an early show today. There is some scheduled maintenance for this afternoon, so there's no big assurances that they'll have it on time. It's supposed to only be for an hour, but then there's some other stuff that's going on for like 2.5 hours, so I don't know what's going to affect what. And rather than risk missing my window later on in the afternoon due to other obligations, I figured it would be better to just stream this morning and hit 3 or 4 homes and just try to get back to the schedule next week. So apologies for those that were looking forward to hooking up on this afternoon. It's just one of those things. I'm always checking the server status listings and making sure that there's no conflict of scheduled maintenance and things. And when there is, then I have to kind of decide, okay, am I going to wait and have it later, or if I'm going to do it earlier, or, and I really don't want to skip it altogether because I've already missed quite a bit of days. So anyway, we're going to go with Exiles today. So I've got 5 homes that I'd like to visit today. It's going to be kind of an extended, kind of as an apology for having it kind of off schedule. So hopefully you guys will forgive me. But we've got a big variety of different kinds of themes. This one in particular, I'm actually spotlighting it on the WildStar Core website. And while I'm spotlighting it there, I just like to talk about it because it's a guildie. I know them, and I've seen them work this up almost from scratch. I mean, I remember the early days before it was really walled in and everything, and it has really come together, and it's one of my favorite plots among my guildies. So I just wanted to go ahead and showcase it today, but the spotlight will be coming out later today on WildStar Core. But and then you can get a little extra insight into, because there's like a little interview that I do for everybody that I spotlight, so that they can give some kind of, a little bit of insider kind of information about like how long it took them to build it, what inspired the theme, that kind of stuff. So anyway, we are on Lulu Navra's plot. I'm gonna go ahead and type that into the chat. I actually think I'm alone this morning, but we're gonna put it out there anyway, just in case there's some lurkers, because I don't keep the viewer list up. So unless you say something, I have no idea that you're there. So I do have the lurkers that drop in from time to time, but anyway. So, the clinic. The actual full name, if I can remember it correctly, is Doc Luna's, oh gosh, what is it? Doc Luna's, I got it written down here somewhere. It's like Doc Luna's Clinic and Cybernetic Surgery, I think is the full name. He uses it for RP. They have a lot of, it ties in not only with our guild, but other RP activities. So it's kind of like, gets a lot of use, variety of use. The RP kind of thing is it's set in White Veil, so you'll notice some things that kind of reminisce of that. It's supposed to be close to Fade, but in the White Veil area. So, firstly, I'm usually not a big fan of nighttime plots. I know that was a really big thing for Shades Eve, because, Shades Eve, you think of dark and spooky. But typically, I get annoyed with dark lit plots because it's so hard to see some of the great detail and the building that they make. So like, you really can't appreciate too fully all of the work that's gone into building the little mountain area that this is built into. But it fits this theme really, really nicely. Sometimes I feel like people just use the dark settings to get better use out of their lighting to make it really pronounced. But it doesn't always suit the theme that they're going for. But this one in particular, it fits nicely, so I can't begrudge it too much on that. This is one of the grottos. There's, I think, 3 in total. So this is like the entrance one, and then there's 2 like hidden ones, depending on if you know where to go. Because this is kind of not a maze, but there's a lot of ways to get to the same place. There's a lot of different paths, and in fact, I will show you. Luna drew me up a map when I was trying to tour the place for the spotlight that's going out later today. I asked if there was a particular route that he wanted me to be sure and take because I didn't want to miss anything. And you know, when you're just touring a place by yourself, you don't mind going in circles from time to time, but when it's like an actual tour video that's specifically for that, you don't want to just keep going in circles. You want to hit all of those little nooks and crannies that are, you know, important, not only to the build itself, but to the builder. You know, they want to show off all of their work. And he actually took the time to set me out like a little, it looks like one of those schematics or something with all of the rooms and how to get to each one. And that helped me plan out the video that I made for the spotlight. But I tell you, it's really confusing. I'm going to try and remember how we did it, but anyway, this is one of the side paths that you take before you actually go into the big building. It's just a little spider egg-filled tunnel. And so this is one of the other grottos. I believe this is Luna's favorite. I call him Luna, even though the name is Lulu. An RP thing, and it's just stuck, and that's what I always call him. So forgive me if the names get a little confusing. But anyway, Luna says that this is their favorite view, because you can really kind of get an idea of the scope, the size of the facility. Even though it's built into the mountain here, or the rock, shows little peeks of what's going on outside, just how big it is. But there's like these little, not necessarily Easter eggs, but little things that you'll find. This little like hobo container here, and of course the drains. The idea is that this clinic is built in a refurbished sewer system kind of thing. And so you'll see a lot of pipes and water bits coming through, and lots of tunnels. And but I love these little sneak peeks into the building that you can see. And just the care in the landscaping, putting in different plants, really doing their best to, you know, make it fit the particular zone that they wanted it to be associated with, which, as I said, is Whitevale. We go back through the tunnel. Now there's actually another tunnel on the right side. You'll see the beer signs here, but we're going to avoid that for now. And we're just going to go into the main. Oh, looks like they've got it closed off. Well, oodly-hoo. I should have checked this, I guess. They may be doing some refurbishing on that side, but I'm going to see if I can get in through the back way. This is the hobo area where they've gone in and just kind of taken over. They've got this little it's little details like this, the little warning sign and things that they've put in. This is a drop down from nowhere. A little hobo house here. And this leads into the black market. And since we're here, we'll just go ahead and step into this. This is the black market area underneath the clinic. So again, you get the feeling that you realize that this is, some kind of a sewer system that this is, built into. And then you've got this nice little mishmash of vendors, ranging from, I think this one is the herbal remedies, and then you've got the weapons dealer here, and this is the bar. And it's just kind of like a bric-a-brac of materials. They've just kind of built it out of scraps. It's a mechanic, I think. And it in itself is kind of a maze, trying to figure out where to go so that you don't miss anything. There's a lot of little details. Just little hovels. Again, it's supposed to be a little like made out of a hobo town, but it's a black market, so you've got, some questionable guys. Then you can access the other section from this side. This is the relic vendor. I think he wanted actually a different NPC for that. The one he wanted to use is bugged. They come in like really huge, and you can't adjust the size apparently. So this is the book vendor, I think. And you got these little areas here. And this leads to the candle vendor here. And this is the hacker place where I have all the computer systems and stuff. I love these new screens, by the way. But even like, look, they got the little handles for the cabinets and stuff. A lot of detail. They've squeezed in so much bits. Even this fencing around here to kind of ward that off. Just a lot of stuff. Can't believe all of the things that they've managed to squeeze into this small space. Here's another little bubble. Just it's almost confusing. Here's like the food place. And these NPCs really help bring it to life. Before, when they first started building this, I remember without the NPCs, and it didn't quite have the same feel. Not that it was bad, it's just these make so much difference in bringing the plot to life. Because while a plot may be used for roleplay purposes, it's not like they can be there 24/7. So when people come to visit, it's like, well, it's kind of dead here. But at least the NPCs that you can put in kind of help keep it lively, even when there's no actual activity going on in the plot. So this is like the upper area of the black market where there's more seating and lounge areas. There's also this area with the bunkers. Like I said, it's like a little mini city built underneath the clinic. There's like some little eating areas, VIP areas, and a little sitting lounge here. And then if you cross over, you come into the Queen Hobos area. I think it's one of Luna's alts that plays the role of the Hobo Queen. But this is her throne, and I guess her living space. There's also a shrine back here. Just a little bowl and some books and picture and things. Another little eating area. Now let's see if I can find my way back to the door. Like I said, it's really easy to get lost in here, but you know, that's kind of part of the fun, to see all of the different little swinging seat thing there. It's one of those plots where you would probably visit and then have to revisit and revisit because there's just so much to look at. You're liable to miss it the first time, and then you'll visit again and be able to check it out again. Okay, so that's back out to the main entrance, so we're going to see if we can get in here. Now, I believe this one leads to the other hidden grotto, so we're going to take a here. Yeah, this leads out to like one of the main waterways. So again, you're going to see lots of pipes and water and overgrowth, and of course the drains there. But it's a really neatly done theme as far as sticking with the sewer type of thing. And here's a little hobo area built in right here in the sewers, and then you got the water coming through the waterway. And again, I know it's dark and it's kind of like you can't really see everything, but definitely if you're able to come visit it in person, don't hesitate to do that, because it's a really nice plot. So here's a good shot of the other grotto. There's where the drainage comes out, it like forms a little river, and then you can see lots of pipes going to and fro. And that's supposed to be part of the Thade city wall. That's why it's got all the Osun stuff, because that's kind of what that is. It's all Osun structures. And just to kind of tie it in, that it's supposed to be close to Thade, but more on the outskirts and into the White Belt area. So. So you got this other little open space. This gives you an idea of the size of this place. So this creepy little, I don't know what that's supposed to be, but with the smoke and everything, it looks pretty creepy. Got another one here where it looks like somebody's getting ready to blow the hatch with all the dynamite and stuff sticking out of it. And you can actually jump up on the rocks. That's where I got some of my screenshots from the spotlight. I ventured up around there. But I don't think that's entirely the idea. So there are some things on the plot that really aren't part of the build yet. I think they're still expanding. So okay, let's see if I can get back up into the waterway safely. There we go. But just the idea of all of these connecting pipes and having them smoothly joined and everything is just nuts, all the work he's put into this. And love the blinking eyes. They've come into play so well in so many plots. So this is another connecting area. This is supposed to be the stolen goods little area. where they grab some of the things. Now I'm trying to get figure out where the heck I'm at. Yeah, I think this one leads us to the main reception room. We can start there. Yeah, this is the entrance that we were locked out of. See, it pays to kind of know some of the back ways into the clinic. So this is the reception and waiting room. Even down to the little details of the medikit and the fire extinguisher setup. We've got magazines for those waiting for their turn to go into the clinic. Here's the desk, reception desk. Now, this is where we came out from the main tunnel. You'll see that there's another access tunnel this way. We'll take it later, I think. I'm going to try and pick up where we left off here. So this is the main hall of the clinic. Look at the little, if I can get rid of that activate button. There we go. Look at this little cart. And I guess it's supposed to be like the nurse's cart, but I wonder what the knives are for. RP-wise, this clinic is supposed to be kind of caters to the criminal side of society because they're not necessarily officially licensed or something to practice. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like Dr. Nix from The Simpsons. You know, you might not get top-notch service. It's cheaper, but you know, it comes with its risks. So here we have some of the treatment rooms, nicely decorated, lots of little doodads and things, and of course you get that glimpse of the outdoors through the windows. That's that one grotto that we went in earlier. Second treatment room here. Again, they did really good with following through with the themes of how they've put in some of the decor. Again, another good glimpse of the outside. And then I love this little waiting area. It's just a little glimpse of some of the cave bits. You can see some like the overgrowth here, but on this side you can actually see one of the drains with the water going through. I think a lot of people might miss that just running through the hole and not even notice that there's a bit of a drain there. This is the scanner room where you go in and get yourself zapped. Have all this hardware in here, lots of different little buttons and glowy doodads and things. And they've got the main office, and then of course the scanner itself comprised of lots of different little bits. Looks pretty safe, doesn't it? Excuse me. So this is the bathroom. The simple little bathroom. I love the little trash can. They even took and put some litter in there. And then you can see that there's like some space above, and the adventurous player will discover that there's actually a way to get up top. Let's see if I can make it up there. Yep. So this is one of the secret entrances, or passages, I should say. If I can get up there. Oh, for crying out loud. I'm horrible at these, and even this little miniature jumping puzzle, I'm so bad. Whoops, see, I just... I'm horrible at these. Anyway, this takes us to another set of areas. And let's see if I can remember where everything goes. Let's see, where are we at? I think this one takes us to the waterway that we had visited earlier. Yeah, that's the waterway that we saw before, and it'll drop us right down in there. This one takes us down another tunnel where they've got like some little terrariums. This is like some of the Exonite kind of terrarium. And then you have the strain one. It's just some interesting, I think they mainly wanted to, since they use so much of this Chua metal, they wanted to make sure that they didn't make it too boring. They wanted to add little details that would catch your eye, like little glimpses of bits in here, just to kind of, you know, keep it interesting. I think this spits us back out. Yeah. So this is another secret path right directly back to the reception center. How fantastic is that? A lot of people, they come in first and not even notice that that's open up there, but you can actually go up it. Okay, this is the isolation chamber. Now you'll notice that there's a door here. We're gonna hold off on that, I think. But this is where people need to be quarantined or something, that they get stuck in there. Let's see. Well, we'll just go through just to show you how it connects. Should take us to the stolen goods. Yeah, right there. And then if I follow the one path, it'll take me down to the reception area. This goes down to the waterway where the black market is accessed, that kind of thing. And then the last area I think we have is main office. This is the room that you see from the reception, the entrance there. And you can see the office up here. Like I said, this is supposed to be built on an old sewer system. So this is the sluice control board here that supposedly controls all of the valves and shutoffs and everything, so that it can monitor the water going in and around. But it's Doc Luna's office space here. Lovely little desk. Again, hammer handles for the drawers. Interesting combination of items for the desk, the laptop here. I love all of these buttons though. There's just so many little gadgets. I've seen a lot of control boards from laboratories and things, and no two are alike. Again, that's one of my favorite things about housing. It doesn't matter if you have the same idea as someone else. You can have 50 people make 50 cars and not a one of them will be the same. Got the nice filing cabinet there, using the books as the files. I don't know if I was the one that originally came up with that idea and shared it, and now everybody has one, but it's a fun little deal. It's a nifty little trick. Okay, and then they've got their bathroom with the shower and everything. Interesting shower head. I think it's just a vent tank being used. And not sure what that is the bottom of, but that's being used as the handle. And then of course we've got another secret passage directly from the office there. So just go down. And this is, for those that aren't familiar, we do have access to a new fab kit that allows an extra kind of room. I think it shares the decor limit with the interior, like your bunker house. It shares that bit. I'm not 100% on that, but I think that's what I heard someone say. So if that's not accurate, that's just my bad. But this is the haunted house fab kit, and Luna's converted it into a secret laboratory. So you've got all these like experiments and things, with this nicely gutted roan with the ooey gooey bits spilled out. That's pretty nasty. And even the cabinet, they've got the little open ones, so you can see that there's things been stored inside. Interesting uses of various containers to hold things. Again, keeping with the pipe system as well. Here you have like where they keep the prisoners, where their test subjects are held. So this is some of their nastier equipment. This one didn't go so well, apparently. They give them the comfort of a pillow, but you know, all these nice little sharp objects don't bode well for the prisoners there. That one, I guess, stayed a little too long. He's just a skeleton now. And then, let's see. I don't know if we're supposed to go in here, but I'm gonna use it to get up. Okay, maybe not. Got it. Okay. I don't know if I can get up there or not. So fun to watch me fiddle with this. Here's this, and I think I actually missed this on the tour for the spotlight, which is a shame, but I don't know if it was here before or not, but it looks like they've added in like a little treasure room kind of thing. Added in some shelves. It looks relatively new, so it could be that they just decided to open it up. Burning some books. I'm not sure what that's supposed to represent. Maybe some bad documents or something. So I think that covers Luna's plot. If not, apologies. I did try to catch everything, but at least I got to show the one room that I didn't catch with the other video. Like I said, that spotlight should be coming out sometime today, probably later this afternoon. But that is Doc Luna's clinic and cybernetics surgery. So let's see, where's my list? Okay. This next one that we're going to visit, let's just do it this way. If you have any clue about World of Warcraft, you will appreciate this one. The plot name itself gives the clue. It's Booty Bay Goes to WildStar. Now, it's not an exact replica, of course. There are things missing, like the entrance to Booty Bay in the actual game has like a shark head with the mouth open, and that's where you go in as his gaping maw. And it would have been cool if that had been pulled off here, but unfortunately that's not part of it. But it's still really nice, the ideas and some of the things that they've used, like the waterfall hiding the entrance. And then the little pathway, even the the music, the ambience, or whatever fits it okay. So this is their little entrance instead of the shark head. It's just these. Good morning, patience. And last I checked here, it's not fully fleshed out, but I just thought the idea was fun enough that it deserved a little mention as far as, you know, if you're a fan of World of Warcraft, then you will appreciate effort put into kind of doing this little mock-up of Booty Bay. Again, like I said, it's not an exact replica because like it's missing the island that you normally would see here. It would have been cool if they had been able to add a boat that comes in, that kind of thing, but it's still fun. The water is like a really big, raging, rushing river, but considering that, you know, the pieces that we have to work with, I think they did a decent job at trying to kind of simulate that this is part of a big body of water. So there's a lot of little details in here. I don't know Booty Bay well enough to kind of name what areas these are supposed to be, but some of the things look familiar. Pardon me. Yes, I'm still coughing. I apologize. It's one of those lovely things that keeps haunting me. But like, they've just got all these interconnecting little houses, just like on the real Booty Bay. Instead of a shark hanging here, they've got one of the shell arcs. So, you know, they've captured some of it, the essence of it, but yeah, exactly, Patience. It's close enough where you'll get a smile out of people that say, hey, I remember that bit, or that's supposed to be this. And like this here is where the auction house and the guild bank is. Well, no, I guess it's the guild bank. I'm not sure if it's the auction. That might be the auctioneer there, but it's essentially, you know, in the same kind of little arrangement, which is cute. I just like the care that they took in trying to capture most of it. This is the inn, a little bar. They've got the little different areas. And I like the little tires along the side. I don't remember if that's actually in the game, but it's funny that they put them there. Now, normally this would lead to the flight paths, I think, from the exterior, but and then this is where like one of the, yeah, see, this is like the flight path area. It's got the little spaceship there instead of the griffins. And this is like where one of the quest givers stands and gives you some quests for that. But just, it's adorable on how they've pieced it together. Let's see, I think this one leads to that, yeah. So it's just fun. It looks like they're getting ready to build a spiral staircase here. Maybe they ran out of decor count, I don't know. And another little building. I think this is where some of the trainers were. I'm not sure. I love this little countertop. How cute is that? With the different bits. That looks a little disturbing with the eyes wiggling around like frog soup or something. Nice little display case here. And again, just all these little levels, these little connections. It's very reminiscent of the game itself. I kind of hated questing in Booty Bay because I always got lost in that little place. But you know, if you're looking for different ways to put little houses together, I mean, look at this little window section here. Some good inspiration for, you know, if you're just looking for different ways to construct a house or a little hut or a guest house or something like that. Guess this would be like the leather worker place or something. I don't know. Now, I'm not sure if there's actually a hatch house somewhere around here. I did some hunting, but I couldn't figure out where it might be. I know you can go down under the water. Maybe it's back here somewhere. I don't see where I can get to it. If it's here, it's nicely hidden because I can't figure out where it might be. It feels like it should be around here. I'm mostly looking at the mini map and in relation to everything else, but I do not know where it might be. Maybe it's under this big, there it is. I don't know if there's anything in here. It doesn't look like it. I wouldn't know what they would have put here anyway. That would fit, you know, unless they made the little island underneath or something. But okay, let's see if I can get out of this water now. The only disappointing thing about the water decor is that you don't actually swim through it. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I hit all of the little rooms and stuff. I think I missed those up above. So then you have the weapon shop and things like that. It's just fun, the things that they thought about adding in, trying to make it close to the game. You know, it's got the anvil and everything. I'm gonna see if I can get a good shot of the back area here too. I don't remember what this is supposed to be. I'm sure it's another trainer of some sort. This looks weird with the lamp in there. Armor of some sort. Here he's got the towels and the hats and the shirts. That's pretty good. But you can see they've got lots of waterfalls feeding this little bit of body of water bit. I'm not even sure what this is supposed to be. That looks kind of creepy with the haunted bit. But I think that is all of it. I don't think it extends further back. It's just this main little area, the Booty Bay itself. But you gotta admit they did a pretty good job of rebuilding it. Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's good to know, Patience. I appreciate that. So that actually, this is the teal barnacle or whatever it's called, upside down. It looks like chocolate. That's good to know. Because, you know, if anybody, you know, with winter holiday coming up, some people may want to make little gingerbread houses or houses made of candy and stuff. And something that looks like chocolate, that would be really nice. Because it's got that like little funny swirly thing on it. And it looks like a chocolate bonbon thing. That's good to know. Okay, so next house we're going to visit is Orion Barkbiter. He's also known as Ash, and he's got like a dozen alts. I did a spotlight for one of his plots, I think it was a couple weeks ago, for the Hillview Town in Mind. But this one is called Cove of Betrayal. Now, I liked this one because it kind of ties in with the one we just visited, where it's got, you know, water and it's kind of like a bay kind of thing. But this one is more like there's two opposing groups, one on one side of the river and one on the other side, and they're battling it out on the river. I love this little setup. You've got, looks like they're building a boat here, so you've got these little pieces set up as, you know, for construction and things. I think these are actually the water trough turned upside down, so it looks like logs, but it's actually the water trough decor. So you have this little builder's hut kind of thing, and here you have the bar. And notice all of them, it's just the little tiki roofs, basic construction, pretty much the same for each, but they've outfitted them differently to fit different needs. So this is the bar. Over here you have a living quarters where it's bed, your dinette table, and little thing here. This is the little outhouse. I love their little simple, but you know what it is. I feel badly for the person that's inside if the toilet paper is outside and they run out, which it looks like they have, so that's kind of inconvenient. But here's another little bunk for a double, maybe some brothers or something bunk in the same place. This one is like a general store. They've got all the supplies from weapons and food to just every little doodad you could think of. So that's a nice little addition to this little village. And then, did I already go to that one? I already did. Then past the little village is kind of like an in-between area, and then you go into like the, I don't know if this is like the prisoner camp. I think that's what it's supposed to be, because you have these cages here, but you also have like target practice stuff, so I don't know what that's supposed to fully represent. Maybe these are where the soldiers are for this particular side, and this is like the main like where the head honcho does his planning for his strategy or whatever. So it's like the military half of the side, and then you've got the little village on the other half, and then an in-between kind of bit. And then if you cross the river, and I love the use of these Draken walls, or I think they're actually fence pieces, but they look like walls to me, as this barrier to contain the water. Notice though that the water is like sticking out. We just try and ignore that. They may eventually build this up so it's like mountains on the side so that you don't see that. So we'll just kind of avert our eyes and not notice. But here you've got a little dock, and then you enter the other side, and this is their kind of, I think this is their military guy, because there's their cages for prisoners, and then they've got their little huts, and this is like the head honcho's hut, where, you know, he converses with his minions, and where they cook the prisoners. And then they have a little bit of a gap between it. You know, if they've got plans to add to that, I'm not sure. You know, maybe this is where some RP groups could, you know, role play some epic battles between two factions or something. You know, I know we don't have cross-faction housing yet, but it doesn't mean that you couldn't have, you know, two sets of exile groups or two sets of Dominion groups behaving as opposite to each other. You know, we're kind of like teams, you know, wear different color uniforms or something to kind of designate who's on what team. So here we have a little village for this side. It looks more military than the other one though. And they've even got this little treasure hut here for the big guy. I love the little portcullis with the spears. And again, great use of the walls. It really looks pretty creepy. And then look at the little cannons here. It's just, I think it's a Falcon vase or something with buckets attached on the ends. But it's effective. I mean, that's what it looks like, is little cannons. It's a pretty good deal. Using the curved ones here, the curved fences, to make this kind of like a little tower, which I cannot apparently get up. There we go. I'm awesome. Just got one of those, I think it's one of those brown round tables for the top there. And then of course this side has their little dock with one of the new oaring gondolas. It's really nice, but so far I haven't figured out if I want to learn the one that I've got, because it's so specific in its use. I don't know if there's a lot of things you could use it for. It's a nice leaf though, if you want like a leaf bed. Hey Kruja, welcome. And of course the creme de la creme of this above ground area are the ships. Orion, or Ash as he might be better known as, has a very good knack for building ships and other vehicles, and the boats are no exception. So you have the cannons here, which are just buckets sticking out. The red moon vents for the little window areas here. I keep calling this the fancy bar. I think it's Charming Bar is the actual name for that. The Draken Spear for the little point here, the chains, the Merg banners for the sails. Lots of curved walls, and then the hover part pieces for the body of the ship. 2x4s, decking pieces for some of the trim. Let's see if I can get up inside there. Yeah, the water is pretty cool. It's been such a great thing that they've added. I'm trying to see if I can get up in this thing, and I'm not having much luck. Get up in there. There we go. So you have like the captain's area with this nice little cozy setup. Then you got the bridge area where you steer the ship. Again, you've got all sorts of pieces. That's the feeding trough. I think it's some of the Dominion banners, pillars. I think it's Exile, could be something else, but it's one of those. Down into the belly of the ship. Tiny Chua cups for the other side. Looks like silver keg for the middle, and then of course on the outside we see the buckets. Simple, but super cute, super you know, it's no mistaking what it is. I like the ladders for the railing here. It's really good for indoors in a house as well. If you're looking for something for railing and you don't want to use the regular fence pieces, that's a good option. Hey Nordna, welcome to the stream. We're just doing some exile visits. This one, it's similarly built, but they've used other pieces. So it's a good example of how you can use different decor to kind of give it a different look. This one looked more kind of fancier, and this one's more kind of native because we've got the tiki bars. Same construct for the cannons, but again, it's different bits. It's using the Skeech banners for the sails on this one, and you've got that drake and tri-horn pillar thing. If I can get up in here. Ugh, I'm so bad at trying to get up on these things. Not like you made it easy though. There we go. Woohoo! I made it. So here we have the upper deck on this one. A little different. I mean, this one's square as this one is more curved. It's still nice. Again, a lot of use of the decking pieces. 2x4s. For the captain's house here, it's just a bed. He's like so. The other one's so much more decked out and fancy. It's like a big difference in style there. Poor guy, he's got like nothing. And even the ship's belly, the way they've positioned things, it just looks more cramped and everything. But essentially the same bits on there. Now I believe there is a down below. Yep. Cleverly hidden amongst the rocks and the little bushes there. You can't actually see it, but if you get close enough, you get your little interact button. And it leads to a little underwater layer for this creature. I don't know if this is supposed to be some kind of. It almost reminds me of like a scorpion thing with the little pincers here, but it's still pretty creepy with the eyes and this big gaping mouth and things like that. But it's just something they put in. I don't think there's any hidden extras in here. It's just little bits that they've put together. Like the webbing from, I think it's from the eggs, one of the eggs. I don't think it's cobweb, it's something else. The little bubbling effect of the new spore trees and bushes. Yeah, Nordna, thanks for asking. I do feel better. I'm coughing less. It's still there, but it's not as prevalent as it was, thankfully. Whoops. Just making sure I'm not missing anything here. See, I still got it, but it's pretty nifty. But yeah, it's a nice approach to the bunker house. It makes it feel more like a cave kind of thing rather than big and open. But it's amazing how this, in contrast to others that can fit like an entire city or something underneath, it's just amazing the difference. So that is Orion Barkbiter's plot, Cove of Betrayal. A really nice little setup. You know, if you're wanting to like do a scene, I think that's one of the things he likes to do is to set up different scenes and stuff. This is a great example of that. So the next one we're going to visit is, if I can get it to type right. I hope I say this name right. It's Flossy Aetherglow, one of those. This is a simpler plot in a way, but there's been a lot of work as far as the detail. I love this plot because it almost looks like a snippet of the actual game world. This could very easily be a quest hub. Think, like Trimmer Ridge and Algarok and things like that. There's just all these little details. Here's like a little trap with cheese on it. You got all these little mines, and then you've got just these little blocks, pieces out, and I don't know. I love exploring this place. It's very open, but there's a lot going on. But like I said, if they fleshed it out with a lot more NPCs and stuff, this would really fit like a little quest hub because you have like this reminds me of the area in Whitevale where they've got the bar in the center and then there's all this activity going on. So here's you have this bar. I love that the main thing up above is the keg. And it looks really messy and busy, but it's again, it's been very carefully planned out. You have this little seating area. You've got the bar itself. You've got a few NPCs here. Um, but like, look at all the little grasses and the flowers and things that they've used. I don't know if parts of that is from a fab kit that they've just built on top of, but it's just the detail of it is fascinating to me. Even the bits where they've got the 2x4s, it's just like in the open world, um, where they've got these little shacks. I guess it'd be like the cooking where the cooking trainer would be. And then you've got these little camps. You see that often in places like in Wilder Run and stuff, where they've got these little areas where the soldiers are recouping. Here you have where your portals would be to maybe back to Thade or something. Um, it's utilizing nice of the boardwalk pieces, and you've got these stray little bits of the hoverboard park pieces, the new rocks for all of the landscaping all around, the gray stones. I think this is a maintenance platform that's been turned upside down. Then you've got another little hut here. This would be like a perfect place for a role-playing guild to come and have a little field day with running all the different little booths. Here's your little medical area, first aid, little drop. Then you got maybe this is where the repair vendor would be. And then here's a little storage bin. All these little pieces they've added in themselves. It's just crazy the detail people will go into. Here's another little cooking stall. All these little bits, boxes and the meats, and there's a box of dynamite that they've piled in. Even the discarded papers underneath the mailbox. People getting kind of, this one's nice and overstuffed with things. Little tufts of grass, all of even the bottle, all of that is them placed. They put that there. Now, this part, I know this for sure. This is a fab kit. That's the kiddie pool one. But I'm sure they've added bits of their own. There's just a little generator that's feeding the light. You know, a lot of people will just put the spotlight out there, but hey, they've got it actually hooked up to a generator and wired up so that it feeds it. All the suitcases is somebody's travel luggage here. Just lots of little bits. I love that. Even the wood, they've got a stack of wood like they're going to be building it. You know, here's like the bricks and things like that. They've got the little map of the place where they're going to construct, planning out everything. And it takes time to position all these just like you want. I like too how they've followed a lot of the natural, where the path is worn, where there's no grass, and they've chosen to make that as an actual path. Like a lot of people come here and just chill out in this little clearing. So here we have another little area. Got a little landing pad of some sort. Got some exonite being held down and all these floating crystals so they can't float away. Here, another perfect place where you would probably pick up some quests. Maybe this is the explorer and settler training area or something. I'm sure if I chatted with whoever built this, they would explain all the specifics and be more accurate about what they're supposed to be for, but I think it's fun guessing. It's just so much to look at. And to think that they've taken the time to put in all of these plants, all of these little details. You know, when you do this housing stuff and you go around trying to build something that looks like an actual area. See, this is another fab kit. It's the wishing well one and the garden fab kit, and they've just kind of built in around it. So here you've got the little farming area. Notice they've used the patches of dirt again to their advantage to lining it up. But what I was going to say is when you're doing this housing, you really appreciate those developers that, or the people in charge of dressing out the actual game world. You kind of appreciate more all of the work that goes into them building it up to make it look like a city, or to make it look like a an actual little encampment or a little town or something. You just appreciate more all of the work that goes into that. Because there's so many details you just kind of take for granted that it would be there. And with a lot of the materials that we have, that's just not, it's not something that you can just snap a finger and put it down once and it's there. You have to actually arrange every individual item, the little toilet paper roll on there, the cup, the bowl, the shirt, everything. And I think it just helps you appreciate more. I think this is supposed to be, yeah, a little outhouse. Again, we saw some outhouses before, and it's completely different than what was there. But it's still just as nifty. And here's like the little shower. And look, they've got it hooked up to the water tower here. And then they just added a little pull chain using I think that's a metal and wood barrel on the pull chain, and that's where they get their shower. How clever thinking is that? 2x4s, a little bit of decking pieces, and then the triple divider. That's just some fun stuff. Again, they're kind of indicating the path where it would be. Little tents. I love the Pell tents. I'm glad that folks are using them in fun ways. Just so happens that my current build does not require any tents, but I do have a few waiting to use them someday. Again, looks to be another, like, a little food vendor. Got a little makeshift picnic area here. But again, it just feels so much like a little quest hub. The little fueling station here, I like that. Another repair thing. Another little food. And then you got, notice their use of the upside down umbrella, massive umbrella tree. It gives you this little lift. The fun thing about that tree is it mimics whatever ground cover you have on your main ground. So if you have snow, it'll look like snow up here. If it's desert, it'll be desert. And since it's this green grass stuff, then you get the same thing. And it just helps builders create elevation differences on their plots. And it's interesting to see how people use it, how they hide, you know, because this normally would look like just kind of like a weird cutoff, and they've just hid it with rocks, bushes, fencing, in a nice way that it looks natural, that there's this little plateau up here. This like would be the main quest area where the head honchos would be, and you'd like pick up some things. It's just so much stuff. And to think that they had to put most of that piece by piece by piece is just mind-blowing. For someone that really doesn't know housing, I'm sure they probably wouldn't appreciate this as much, because they would just assume a lot of this comes like that. But all right, well, I'll try and do that in order to kind of iffy on what I'll be doing this afternoon, but I'm hoping to do some more visiting because I'd like to update the list this week. Last week I did a lot of purging. I think I removed over 70 names on the Exile side because people just have turned their plots private, or have just completely emptied it, and it was just time to remove them, and I'm hoping to add some more this week. I added a few last week, but I'd like to find a bunch more. So we're back at the little bar place. So I think that's all of the exterior. But trust me, if you have a chance to come visit this place in person, do it. There's a lot of little details. I mean, just a stack of boxes. You know, it looks easy, but it really isn't. You have to turn it just so that it doesn't like clip into the other one and all that kind of stuff. And all these little bits here, building your path up to your main house here. Yeah, Samson, I know, but there's some scheduled maintenance going on this afternoon, and there's no promises that it will be up when I'm available. And later this afternoon, I've got other things going on, so I had to do an early show today. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's true, Norna. But you know, some like to keep theirs private because they only use it for specific guild or role play purposes. So they keep it so that, you know, they don't have stray people coming in that they feel like might kind of mess up their little bit. Anyway, this is the interior of the spaceship. It's just been kind of, it reminds me of kind of like an exile home, typical. You know, it's just bits and baubles that they've managed to piece together from other things. It's a lot of worn stuff. You know, nothing super major in here, but it's just one approach. You know, not everybody would want it to stay like a ship, but even the little scaffolding on the outside, that took some work to try and figure out how they wanted to do that. See if I can go up it. I am so bad about jumping. Gosh, I'm horrible. If I can do it. Usually if I get on the mountain, I overshoot shoot it then. It's like, I tell you, that's why I don't stream jumping puzzle places, because it's so bad. Let's see if we can get a good shot of this little village here, this little town. It's just crazy, all of the work that went into it. You know, you don't have to have a compact build to make it look busy. Here, this one's really nice and spread out. It makes use of the entire plot, but it's just, there's a lot of interesting little bits to it. I mean, the roof, the structures, probably even the route that they planned, where things would go. I wouldn't be surprised if they fashioned it after one of the little towns that we have in the open game world. Yeah, it is. It's a really, really nice shot. It just shows too how much of the trees and things they've added in. Stuck with a particular color, lots of greens and turquoise colors. And of course the mountains, just trimming it off. You almost can't even tell that it's the sky plot. It just looks kind of foggy in the background. It's maybe hiding the rest of the world. It's really nicely done. Okay, and then the final house for today is by Duckdoor Evil. I want to say it's Sparky, but I'm not for positive. I think they actually built this for Shades Eve, and I don't know if it wasn't done in time or if it was and I just missed it or what, but again, this is one of those examples of using the massive umbrella trees as elevation to kind of separate different areas of your plot, so that you have this uplifted area up top, and then you step down into the main part. And I love how they've used the hover park pieces as the pathway. It's a really nice, clean way of doing it. Excuse me. To really define the path. You know, it's great when we can use stones and things, but love all of the grass. I usually don't use the grass stuff, but they've used it nicely in this plot in different places. So you have this little, I don't know, an outer courtyard kind of thing. So you have the Galera stone walls, and then you have the, I think it's the ornate fencing. And then you have this nice little staircase, and that's just, I think those are Dominion walls that are turned upside down so that that bright bit on the top isn't showing. It's upside down for that. They've got the Gothic fence post there, and then I think it's the same here, slanted, and then Draken pillars for the steps. Just, you know, it sounds simple, but you know, it takes some thought into picking out what materials you use. Just showing that they've, you know, populated the place with different kinds of plants. And again, stuck with the pathing, with the hover park pieces. This is that new haunted house fab kit. When we visited Luna's plot at the first of the show, and we went into the secret laboratory, that's what this is. That's what they used. All we saw was the door, of course, coming through the tunnel, but in this one he's left it completely open. So all of this comes pre-built like that. I don't think he's added anything. And then they converted it into kind of a area of, I don't know what you call it, respite, where they just come and contemplate. Nice use of not only the the Draken fence pieces, but they've added in, it seems like an odd combination. You've got the Orin Hugels and then the Draken fencing, but it, you know, it works. It looks like it should be there. It might be the lighting that helps kind of cover up the clashing of the two different kinds of themes, but that's a nice open hearth here. Again, Draken pillars for the things, and then the ornate fencing for the grate. And then they have this little kind of weird, disturbing altar. It's just a combination of the ritual candle circle and then that globby one that you get from, I think it's called some kind of altar, stone altar or something. And then those are the new floaty symbol things that you get from Alpha Sanctum. So then we've got a couple of fab kits here. I think this is the Creepy Cave one, and then that's the graveyard. And then they've just extended it kind of with the crowded graves. And they've added candles, kind of give it its own little character. Just a nice little setup. And of course you got the main house itself. Hover part pieces for the roofing. I think it's granite or something kind of walls, and then the windows. Some of them are the haunted ones. That's why you get the little flashing light effects. Now, most people probably would forget to look, but this is actually where the bunker house is underneath this little, you don't see it, but if you get close enough you get the little interaction bar. Yeah, the music choice is a little funny, but this is the asylum, so maybe it's supposed to be a little off kind of thing. I like this little kind of, I don't know, it's weird. It's a little treasure thing, and then they got the little trap there, I guess, for invaders that might come and steal their stuff. A really big bathroom shower. Using the red moon vent again. I love the little makeshift toilets and stuff. You got the different kinds of domes just layered up niftily to make it look like it's a lid and a bowl. I think that's an Orin window, the back of it, or the flusher or whatever. And then some Orin domes and cylinders for the main part of it. I think that's the broom, the mop handle for the little dispenser there. The shower, those are tiny Chua cups for the handles, and the vents for both down below and up above. Same way with the sink. Chua cups. It looks like part of the bricks for the spout there. I'm not positive about that, what that is. It doesn't look like wooden 2x4. The color looks off, so it's something else. But it almost looks like part of that brick stack, and they've just got that one little piece sticking out. I'm not sure. But again, these are domes, and hollow domes and solid domes being used differently to kind of dress it up like a sink. Works really nice. Whoops, almost ran into the glass there. Let's go ahead and go up on this way. So we have a little rec room kind of thing. Library, office space. Folks always, find ways to display their posters. Let's see, so we came in. Here we have the kitchen. Look at all the nice little drawers and cabinets here. Got the staircase landing for one cabinet door, and then the metal-edged wood pieces for the drawers. Looks to be the tops of one of the files, probably the small one, for the handles. Another metal-edged wooden piece for the cutting board there. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Little mini mop with, I don't know, a scrub brush or something maybe? Little dining table. Little fridge. Again, it's a metal flat table for the front. Looks like a 2x4 and some metal edged ones for the handle. And then for the, one single chunk for the base of it. Here we have a little strange little theater. The only thing about putting these inside is you might have a little bit of clipping with the feet. Not too much though. And I did check this because these are, they don't have any collision to them, so I always check to make sure there's no hidden room back there, but there isn't. Or at least I didn't see one. Let's see, let's go this way. So here we have a nice little bar lounge area. I love the little couches and seats made out of the Chua pillows. This simple, but really, I mean, it looks like it came that way almost. Yeah, I figured that was a dish brush. See, look at the little sofas. Aren't those cute? And then again with an open hearth. This one's still done a little differently. You've got, I think it's the granite pillars, Draken pillars. Then you've got the green logs being steepled over the little Falcon fire pit. Wooden 2x4s to finish off the mantle there. And of course the ornate fencing. For the rocky parts, that's the Draken floor. I like this weird little, using the weather vane for the little duck symbol here. I don't know what that's supposed to be for. And of course the little bar. Let's go upstairs on this side. This is where you can see the bar down below, and then this is just a little, like a little bedroom area where they've showcased all of their little plushies. Okay, so how do we get out of here? I think it was, yes, this way. So that's the bunker house underneath the tree there. So now we can go into the main house, or I should say the asylum, the insane asylum, using this wonderfully bright green Gothic gate. Now they switched the pathway from the hover park pieces to the Draken floors, and then there's a dome surrounding the fountain here. I love their little introduction for the water here and the effects that they've got. I think that's one of those target dummies underneath. It's got the little sparkly bits coming up to give that little effect, and then they've got every mouth has one of the little skinny waterfalls coming out of it. It's a really nice effect to that. Here's a good shot of the house itself. I don't know the name of the pieces of the hover park pieces they're using for the roof, but you can see it's kind of like a lipped, curved kind of bit, and they've just tiered it up to make it the roofing. Using the spooky green windows for the front, and I think the regular ones on the side. And again, for the steps, it's just the Draken domes screwed up. So here we have the admittance desk. Just a simple little entrance hall. Notice the archway, how many pieces they had to use to get the thickness in there, because we don't have control over thickness as far as, you know, if it's not like you can extend a wall only one way. It comes in one size, and when you enlarge it, it does it, you know, keeps the same proportions and everything. So when we have these thin little arches, to get that thickness, you have to use like 5 or 6 of them sandwiched together to get that. But it works really nice. It's just that it's a lot of decor that you have to slap in there. Those are the Cassian pillars. It looks like 6 of them stuck together to make that railing up there. Okay, so we'll just go into this side here. I think this is the actual loony bin area. You got all the different little cells where all of the patients are kept. Some of them are locked. Got a little grumple here, begging to get out. Some cells are single. Some have multiple beds in them. Here's a little cozy talking to herself. Then we've got the little medical ward where some of them are being drugged. It's just kind of creepy with the mannequins there. And this is the mess hall where they go and eat and apparently play with little ships. And then their little outdoor area, nicely barbed wire and fenced off so they can't escape. But here's a good view of the back. Not too many windows on this side. Again, same kind of, it mirrors the front, but it's a different material. They use the Orin ones here instead of the Draken version. I like how they've got the little curtain to kind of indicate that's a different kind of room there. Nice little stairway here. It's the actual staircase piece, but then they've added to it, you know, to kind of make it look more solid, so you can't see through the bottom. And of course, they've added all of the railing with 2x4s and the granite pillars. So here we have another set of cells, another cozy in there. This one's been emptied, or no, I guess he's trying to break out. He's got a little knife there, and that's not good. And a big old rat there, little mouser. Yeah, as far as I know, Norgna, the sky, the sunset sky is still bugged. Many folks are hoping that with today's maintenance is coming in a few hours, that that will be fixed. No promises though. Don't quote me on that because there's no telling. I like how they're using the guesses so that they're talking to themselves. It kind of fits with the loony bin thing. Here we're going up to the next floor from there. And I love the use of these little lighted ends to make these numbered rooms. Got 1, 2, and 3. And these are the padded room kind of things. So they can't hurt themselves or anybody else. And it's just the flat metal tables as the doors. The handles look to be hammers. And of course the mattresses for the padded covering. It's a really nice setup there. Here we have the lounge. I assume for the employees of the asylum. Just kind of a simple setup, nothing fancy. And let's go in this door. And that just leads to the balcony for where we came in. You can see that there's some more stuff over on the other side, but we have to get to it from this door. Now notice that when you set up your doors like that, it's going to affect how they look when you've got it blocked off partially. But you know, if you can kind of ignore that it changes when it opens or closes, no, that's okay. So here we have a nice big library, double size. I'm not going to try and jump up there. And they've used the same kind of cushions for this one. But again, they've set up the open hearth, but it's different. You know, it shows you that you can set up a hearth like infinite number of ways. This one is actually using one of the oven tops. So you see the grill part down below. Then they've just boxed it off so you can't see the rest of it with chua pillars. And then they've kind of given it a chimney using some of the granite wall, I think that's what it is. Again, chua pillows for all these little couches and stuff. Very cute. And that's the new orange tree table. Also very adorable. Adorbs. Look at this kitchen. Look at the size of that refrigerated section. I need one of those in my house. That's what I need. Yeah, it is. So here's their massive, awesome little kitchen. It's using one of my favorite decor pieces, which is the posters. I love those things. You can see, for me, I would probably do the double and cover that up, but they didn't worry about that. But that's okay, you don't have to, because not everybody's going to do like me and look underneath like that. They're just going to look at it from above. But so you've got these nice open drawers, and then they've got, I mean, look at all the plates and stuff. That's a lot of decor count right there. Just, you know, we actually need some stacks of plates and things to kind of save on decor, because that's like umpteen of those being used to make those stacks. But I like how they've got these little mini drawers with the chua cups, and these are just, again, those flat metal tables, just shrunken down and use. And then I think these are the metal crates with the handles. They're just showing the handles because those awful crooked ones. But it's nice variety, but it still kind of ties in with each other. It looks nice. And this is that same oven that was used for the open hearth, but now it's actually being used as an oven. And then insetting the little grills over here. A very nice use of the glass to make all of this, the door here with the Cassian pillar handle. It's just two pieces that's been kind of overlapped to give it this little design all the way across. And then all the shelving. And I mean, look at how many beer cans that is and bottles. It's multiples, and that's costly on the decor count. For things like that, usually I save that for like some of the last little bit, just to make sure that I have enough, and then I just kind of splurge and go with it. And then this is where we were. We came out over here, and now we're at the dining room. Really fancy little setup. They're using the orange shelves that you get with Renown, I think it is, as the enders for the table, and using it as the table leg, and then having a couple of the Exile walls stuck end to end. So this is actually the end of it, and they've just kind of incorporated that into the design. It almost looks like Pokemon on the ends, if it was a little rounder. Really nice little setup. Fancy house. Okay, I think we're missing one room. I'm going to see if I can find where I missed that. Because I'm pretty sure there's the attic. So I probably missed it over here. Do. Come on, go up the stairs. Yep, here we go. The attic. Again, it's nothing too fancy, but it gives you a little better idea of how they've put together the roof with a combination of different kinds of cover part pieces. You know, they've gone and added some things, you know, spooky bits and haunted bits and smoking bits to kind of give the attic kind of like a creepy feel. But again, it's allows you to kind of better see the construction of the roof, how they've layered it in. Really creepy how they did the wall with the ghosty effect, how that affects some of the other stuff that's there. Blinking eyes on the Hoogles. That one looks confused, and those just look mad. So that is it for Dr. Evil's place. So yeah, I know the show was early today, and so it'll probably throw a lot of people off, but considering that we're getting ready to go into maintenance probably within the next hour or so, I just wanted to make sure that we didn't miss out today, because I definitely wanted to keep up with the weekly house tours and everything. Even though, like yesterday, I missed streaming because a number of factors, including I had a pounding headache, but it just didn't work out that I was able to stream yesterday. And I will try my best to stream as often as possible, but I'm definitely not going to miss the Wednesday ones if I can help it. Even if that means I have to stream a little earlier. Just now noticed that there's lightning hitting the top of it. I guess it's to kind of draw your attention to that tree to let you know, hey, there's something there. That's a good shot of the house. You can, well, I don't light up the fence there. That's the only thing I hate about that fence is how it lights up. But you know, you could build something like this. It doesn't have to be an asylum. Maybe it's a mansion. Maybe it's a casino. You know, who knows what you put in it. But it's interesting to see how other people put stuff together and what they call it and what they make of it. Hey, Warsies. Morning to you too. Oh, looks like reset just happened. So yeah, that'll be the end of our show. I appreciate you guys joining in, and I hope you had fun. We visited 5 homes altogether, so that was a pretty good run. And of course, next week we will be touring some Dominion homes, hopefully. And in the meantime, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to stream as far as building. I know we've got the Wild Ballpark to doodle on, but there's other things as well. I'd like to do like not a workshop kind of thing, but just kind of a, you know, hey, I want to do this. You know, how many ways or different ways I can think of coming up with something for that. Kind of like what we did with the birthday thing and the fall decorations kind of thing. I'd like to do one for maybe Winterfest since it's coming up soon. Anyway, I appreciate the chatting. I appreciate the follows, the tweets, the retweets, and of course the contact with a lot of you that I've been getting in game. It's always nice to meet you guys in game and see your own homes and check out your projects and things like that. Again, I do have a housing spotlight coming out for WildStar Court. Should be coming out this afternoon, I think. I set it for like 8 a.m., but I don't think it's 8 a.m. CET time. I think it's somewhere else, so it comes out much later. But keep an eye open for that, because that'll be covering Lulu Navra's clinic plot. Um, uh, it might be it's essentially the same kind of tour we did earlier today, but there's inclusion of an interview with the builders, so you can kind of get an idea of some of the behind the scenes kind of things from them. Things like how long it took them to build, what inspired it, that kind of stuff. I do those on a bi-weekly basis. I've contacted a number of builders. I've got a lot of them kind of in the queue, but with my schedule on how kind of gatty I can be, I figured every 2 weeks is a good kind of routine for me for that. So this week is the next one, and then it'll be 2 weeks from there that we'll have another one. I started to do them like do an Exile one, and then I did a Dominion one, and then Exile. But because it takes time for people to respond to me about like filling in their interview questions and things like that, it got to be where it was kind of lopsided as to who was sending me their answers and stuff. So I've just decided every 2 weeks I'll just do them in the order that I receive them. So if there's going to be several Exiles back to back, because they're the ones that get back to me on it. But yeah, I'm not taking any requests for that, but hopefully, I pick some nice homes that you guys would enjoy knowing a little bit more about, and maybe catching some details maybe that you didn't see when you toured it yourself, or if you happen to be someone that doesn't have access to this side of the pond for whatever reason. It's not like, I know it's easy to go ahead and make an extra account, but not everybody wants to do that, myself included. I haven't bothered getting on to entity side because I just don't feel like I have the time to give it. I got so much on my plate already. It's mind-boggling. But for those of you that can't get to it for whatever reason, this is a way to kind of see a little bit of extra. I do screenshots, I do a video, and then of course I do the interview. In my own goofy little write-up, kind of walkthrough tour of it, but that's just kind of frivolous stuff, just to kind of help fill in the page. The main thing is more about the builder. That's really who I'm spotlighting. It says housing spotlight, but it's more like I want a little extra information from the builder themselves. I want to get them involved and to have them share some of their thoughts about housing with others. So anyway, I hope you guys check that out when it hits. I think I need to update the link on my channel page, so I'll see about doing that today, hopefully. But of course, I always retweet it when it lands, so you can catch it that way if nothing else. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you again later. Until then, have fun, and bye-bye.